Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us in today's Asylee Benefits Orientation. My name is Hamasa Ebadi, and I will be presenting today's orientation for you. Before diving into all of our topics in the presentation, I would like to walk you through some housekeeping tips to keep in mind. There is a Spanish interpretation available during this session, and you can activate it for yourself by clicking onto the globe button, which is underneath your screens. And if you click on it, a list will open up for you. You can click on Spanish in this list to choose it as your language, and then go ahead and click on Mute Original Audio to mute English and be able to listen to this presentation in Spanish. Please do ask questions during this presentation by clicking on the Q&A button underneath your screens. You will be able to type your questions in. We may not be able to take your questions during the presentation, but there will be enough time for us to get to all of your questions at the end of the presentation. Feel free to keep typing your questions, or by the end of the presentation, you can also unmute yourself to ask any questions that you may have. This is an overview of all the different topics that we have included in today's orientation, and it starts from information about asylum and all of your documents that you will receive as an asylee. What should you do with them and how should you safeguard them? What kind of documents will you receive? The second section will be all about next steps after receiving your asylum approval. What are some of your responsibilities? What should you do and when should you do them? The third section is all about asylee benefits. What are the benefits and services that are available for you? When should you apply for them, and who can assist you accessing these benefits? And lastly, there are some additional information that we think would be very helpful for you all. Again, just a couple of reminders. Please keep asking your questions by clicking on the Q&A button, and we will definitely have enough time to get to all of them at the end of the presentation. At the same time, feel free to unmute yourself by the end of the presentation and ask your questions. During the presentation, if there are any pieces of information on the slides that are important for you and you would like to keep notes, please do take notes. Feel free to take pictures or screenshots. And now we are going to start with our first section, which is asylum, knowing the status and also knowing your documents. There are a couple of ways through which you can get your asylum approval in the US, and one of them is to get your asylum approval processed and approved by the USCIS, or the US Citizenship and Immigration Services. If your asylum is approved by USCIS, you will receive a letter that's called Asylum Approval Letter. There is a sample picture of this letter on the left side of my screen. It will have a couple of pages to it, and in this letter, it will be noted that your asylum has been approved, and you will also have a date for your asylum approval as well. If your asylum is approved by USCIS and you do receive this letter, you will also receive another a letter or a form, which is called Form I-94, along with your asylum approval letter. A sample picture of this form is also included in the middle part of my screen. In this form, you will have your alien number mentioned, your name, your date of birth, the country of your citizenship, as well as the date when your asylum was approved. The second way in which your asylum can be processed and approved is through the immigration court. If your case is not with USCIS and it's with the immigration court, you will receive a letter that is called Order of the Immigration Judge, And that will show that your asylum has been approved. You will have a date again as your asylum approval date on this letter. The only difference here is that you will not automatically receive an I-94 along with the order of the immigration judge. USCIS is responsible to send you a new I-94 within 90 days in your address through the mail after you receive your asylum approval through the immigration court. And it happens sometimes that you may not be able to receive your I-94 automatically in the mail. What you need to do is that once you get your asylum approval through the immigration court, give it 90 days, and if you did not receive it from USCIS, then go ahead and call USCIS. Their number is listed on my screen. It is 1-800-375-5283. When you call them, ask to make an InfoPass appointment and then let them know that your asylum has been approved through the immigration court. You did not receive your I-94 in the mail, and you would like their assistance to get your I-94. So they will be able to assist you and you will be able to get your I-94. Once you receive your asylum approval letter and your I-94, it's highly important to remember to keep them safe, to not write on them, to not laminate them. If you notice any errors on your I-94, please make sure that you are contacting the local USCIS office by mail to let them know of the error on your I-94 and ask them to correct it for you. Part 2 of this presentation is going to be about next steps that you need to take after your asylum is approved. So of course, we mentioned just a couple of minutes ago that if your asylum is approved through the immigration court, you do need to make sure that you get your I-94. And if you don't get it automatically through USCIS by the mail, then go ahead and make an InfoPass appointment with USCIS by calling them and make sure you receive your I-94. So this is also considered as one of the next steps after your asylum is approved, depending on how you got your approval. And then once you have your I-94 and asylum approval letter, both of them, then you should go ahead and renew your Social Security card. You need to do this because as an asylum seeker, the Social Security card that you have already, that's a restricted Social Security card. There's a picture of it on the right side on the top of my screen. You see that there is a message on that Social Security card inside that red box, which says valid for work only with DHS authorization. This is why this is called a restricted Social Security card, and you cannot work with the Social Security card unless you have a work permit. Once your asylum is approved, you need to change the Social Security card to an unrestricted one. And how can you do this? You can go to the closest, you can make an appointment actually with the closest Social Security office by calling their phone number, which is 1-800-772-1213. Call them, make an appointment, take your asylum approval letter and your I-94 with your current Social Security card. Let them know that your asylum has been approved and you would like to receive your unrestricted Social Security card. Now, there is a possibility that sometimes you will visit a Social Security office to renew your Social Security card, and you tell them, that your asylum has been approved and you want to get your unrestricted Social Security card. You may notice that the employees that you are talking with may not know the process, may not be familiar with your documents. Then it does not hurt that you go prepared for this appointment. And by being prepared, I mean by visiting the Social Security Administration's website, which is listed on the right top corner of my screen. Once you go to this link, you will be able to see a policy paper that they have, or a page that gives you good enough information about what kind of documents asylees are required to show to get their social security card. And if you get a copy of this printed or in your phone and take it to the social security office with you, and if in case you face a challenge where the employees are not familiar with the process, you can show them a copy of this um, page, and they will be able to help you accordingly. Other next steps for you after your asylum approval is to make sure to apply for your family members to come and join you in the US as derivative asylees once your asylum is approved. And the family members that you can include in this petition and apply for are your spouse and your unmarried children under the age of 21. Timing is very important for this. You have only 2 years after your asylum approval date to make sure that you are submitting this petition and applying for your spouse and any unmarried children under the age of 21. For yourself, the next step in your immigration journey after your asylum approval is to apply for your green card or permanent residency in the US. And you can do that by completing 1 year after your asylum approval. Um, you may also be able to apply for your permanent residency or green card before completing 1 year of presence. But it's important to know that USCIS will only be able to adjudicate your application and make a decision on it once your 1 year of physical presence in the US is completed. The next last, hopefully, step you need to take in your immigration journey in the US is to apply for citizenship, and you can do that once you complete 5 years after becoming a permanent resident. So just to review some important dates that I just shared with you, you have 1 year to apply for your permanent residency after your asylum approval. You have 2 years after your asylum approval date to apply for your spouse and any unmarried children under the age of 21 to come and join you in the US. And you have 5 years after your green card is given to you to apply for US citizenship and receive your passport. Now we are getting to part 3 of this presentation, which is all about asylee benefits and services that are available for you once your status changes from an asylum seeker to an asylee and you receive your approval. So these benefits and services can be different and can have a different window of time for you to apply for them. Eligibility for them can also be very different, and we will discuss this one by one. One of the benefits that you are eligible for is an initial health screening. You need to make sure that you are getting this health screening in the first 90 days or 3 months after your asylum approval date. That's the only time you can get this health screening. It's free of charge. A federally qualified clinic can provide you the service. And if you need any vaccinations or immunizations, you will be able to get it during these health screenings. If you need to be connected with a primary care physician or a PCP, they will also assist you to connect with one. And as part of this service, you will also get to learn about the health system in the US and how to navigate the health system and how to use your health insurance as well. Other benefits include medical insurance through the government, which is called Medicaid. Also, temporary cash assistance for you and your family. And these are only for short-time periods. If you are a single person, or if you are a couple with no children, it's very important for you to apply for your benefits as soon as possible because the cash assistance program is only available for you in the first 4 months after your asylum approval. And so can be Medicaid or the cash assistance for families with children. All of them have small time periods. I just talked about the cash assistance for singles and or couples with no children as an example with you that it's only a window of 4. So all the window that is that you have for applying for these benefits is from 4 months to 12 months, within which you should submit your application as soon as you get your asylum approval. There are other benefits that are a little long-term in nature, and you don't have a smaller period of time to apply for them or enroll in them. And that includes employment support and job training, free English classes, and case management services. These are available for you for the next 5 years after your asylum is approved. Now you know all about the benefits that you are eligible for. I am now in this slide going to share with you on how to access these benefits and who's going to help you. So if you are in the state of Maryland, please reach out to us, the Asylee Outreach Project, and we will be very happy to connect you with the right agencies and to help you apply for these benefits and receive these services. But in general, if you're in any other states, you should look for the closest resettlement agency near your house. And these are refugee agencies, these are nonprofits, and they are familiar with working with you, asylees and refugees. They know about benefits, they know how to help you. They are one-stop shops and they can assist you with all of the benefits and services that you can be eligible for as an asylee. Some examples of these organizations are Ethiopian Community Development Council or ECDC, International Rescue Committee or IRC, and Lutheran Immigration Services or Lutheran Social Services or LSS. These are some examples of these organizations. There is a website that you can use through the Department of Health and Human Services. It is listed in the middle section of my screen. If you go to this website, they have a map in there, and if you put in the name of your state, you will be able to see a whole list of resettlement agencies that you can contact who are working in your state. Just a couple of reminders about benefits. As I said, some of these services and benefits are very time sensitive. Please act as soon as possible before you lose them. And also a reminder, it's very important that, especially during this time, as many of the policies have changed with the new administration and benefit eligibility has also been impacted and changed, and there could be further changes in future as well. So as of right now, these benefits are still available for all asylees, and you can keep applying. It may be different from state to state. But in the state of Maryland, we are still encouraging all new asylees to continue applying for these benefits as soon as they get their asylum approval. This is basically what we are encouraging and advising people right now. Just like I said, things can look different in future, especially come October 1st, 2026. Some of these new policies may go into effect, and there might be some changes into these benefits, and probably some populations may lose access to benefits, or eligibility for benefits may become difficult. But as of right now, we still encourage any new asylees to apply for benefits as soon as they get their approvals. Some of these benefits that asylees are eligible for are federal public benefits, and these include Medicaid, which is the health insurance, temporary assistance for needy families, or what's called TANF, and this is a temporary cash assistance program, supplemental nutrition assistance program, or food stamps, or SNAP. These are all federal public benefits. The eligibility is not guaranteed. You are allowed to apply, but eligibility will depend on your income and household size. Some examples of the health insurance that is offered by the government to you is Medicaid and Children's Health Insurance Program, or CHIP. Sometimes if the family is eligible for Medicaid, then everyone will get that coverage through Medicaid. And if the income of the family does not allow the family to access access this benefit or Medicaid coverage, then you should check and see if your children will at least be able to be covered under the CHIP program. To find out which insurance plans you may be eligible for, you can visit this site for the marketplace insurance, which is the healthcare.gov slash marketplace dash in dash your dash state, or also you can go to healthcare.gov. You will need to provide some information in there and see what are some possible plans for you to access. So for accessing these benefits, we told you that if you feel comfortable, of course, you can go ahead and apply online for some of these benefits. They are available for you, but you don't have to walk this walk by yourself. Resettlement agencies are there in every state, and you should find the closest one near your house. Go there and ask them for help, and they will be able to walk you through everything and help you apply and submit applications for these benefits. At the same time, when you are working with resettlement agencies, I just wanted to let you know that these agencies are at times very busy. They work with a huge pool of different humanitarian refugees, and they can have wait times. So just to make sure that your time is not wasted, you can continue working on completing, some of your documents if you're still waiting to receive them, like your I-94 or your unrestricted Social Security card. Um, and make sure that you are following up with the resettlement agencies. Make sure that you're responsive to what they're asking from you. If they're asking for any required documentation, make sure you're providing it to them on a timely manner. But at the same time, if you are well versed with the internet and you feel comfortable, you can definitely apply for some of these federal public benefits on your own, especially food stamps, medical insurance, and some cash assistance programs for families. So it's very common for us to see that asylees sometimes are very afraid or concerned and unsure about accessing benefits. As of right now, applying for and receiving benefits will not affect your asylum status. you will still be able to apply for permanent residency and receive your green card and become a citizen if you receive benefits. Um, there is a possibility again that government policies will change in future about this. There is a proposed public charge rule right now, but it has not been finalized. So it's still safe for you to apply and receive benefits. And in future, if anything changes, please reach out to us with any questions, and we will be happy to provide you with any information that we may have access to. Part 4 of this presentation includes some additional information that we put together for you, and we hope that it's helpful. One of this is highly important, and I'm going to be sharing it with you, that your right to work in the US and as an asylee is indefinite. It does not expire. You do not need to have a work permit. You do not need to renew your work permit to be able to work in the US. Once your asylum is approved, you're authorized to work indefinitely in the US. So when you are completing a Form I-9 with your employer, you can see a small picture of this form in the right lower corner of my screen. You should go ahead and choose the option 4 as an asylee, which says an alien authorized to work. And then you will see that there is a blank space where you need to put the expiration date for your right to work. And I just mentioned to you that your right to work is indefinite and it does not expire. You no longer rely on a work permit, which may have an expiry date. So what you need to put in this blank space is NA, which stands for not applicable, which means that you or right to work does not expire. And then you can put your alien number in the next space. So you understood by now that you don't need a work permit to continue working in the US. Your right to work is indefinite and not expirable. So now, if you don't need a work permit, you may ask what kind of documents you need to show to your employer to be able to get a new job or continue working. These documents that you see on the screen are the ones that you will need. It is your I-94 form, which shows your status as a new asylee, your driving license or a state ID to show your identity, and also your unrestricted Social Security card. If you still have a work permit that is not expired, you're allowed to use it, of course, and you can present it along with your Social Security card to your employer. Whenever you get your permanent residency card or green card, then that's the only document you will need to show to your employer to obtain employment. What happens if someone tells you that you're not allowed to work? Sometimes you may face some employers or HR teams who are not familiar with the kind of documents that an asylee provides for them, or they don't know the rules, and they're only familiar with a work authorization card or EAD. Then there are resources and help available for you. First of all, of course, reach out to the resettlement agency that you're working with, and they will be happy to assist you. Same goes with us, the Asylee Outreach Project. If you reach out to us, we will be also able to help you navigate this challenge. And also, the Department of Justice has some very, very useful resources for you that you can use to help yourself. They have a hotline. The phone number that you can call to get through their hotline is 1-800-255-7688. They are very, very responsive, and you can call them and ask any questions and ask for any support you may need. On their website, they also have a flyer. The link is included in the slide where it says flyer. You can get a copy of this flyer, share it with your employer, read it by yourself, and use it to resolve your issues with your employer when it comes to showing your documents and letting them know that your status has changed and what new documents would be sufficient for you to continue working or obtaining a new employment. As you may also come to a place where you will need to get a driving license or a state ID or renew them. And we wanted to discuss this with you. This process can also be different from state to state. In general, what you will need to show when you are applying for a driving license or a state ID is your social security number, proof of residency, which can be a lease agreement, a utility bill, or a mail. Proof of identity, that should be photo ID, and it can for sure be a passport. Your I-94 and asylum approval letter is a must as well. Some additional information includes registering for selective service, which is a legal requirement for all males in the family between the ages of 18 to 25. However, most likely they will also not be ever called for service, but they should register. And you can do it by visiting this website, which is www.sss.gov or gov, or by visiting the closest post office to your house and letting them know that you would like to register for selective service. They will help you complete a form and submit. Another thing to remember is to always continue to keep paying your taxes. It's required by law. It's also very beneficial for you to show that you're a responsible resident, citizen, or a person who's living in this country and is working and also contributing. And remember to file your taxes once a year. When filing your taxes, there are free help and resources available on the IRS website, which is listed in the lower section of this slide. Also, if you are in need of support when you're filing your taxes and you're working with a resettlement agency, they have some resources, sometimes free of charge, that they can help you with. So feel free to reach out to them. If you're in Maryland, feel free to reach out to us, the Asylee Outreach Project, and we have some resources and partners that we can connect you with as well. When you are traveling outside of the United States, you will need a document that's called refugee travel document. It is used instead of a passport. It's only valid for 1 year. You can obtain it by completing and submitting a form that's called I-131. There is a fee required for this process, and it is around $165. It's subject to change. Whenever you're applying for a refugee travel document, make sure you're visiting the USCIS website to access the most updated form and also know the most updated fee. Whenever you're traveling to a different country outside the US and using your travel document, make sure that you're checking that country's rules and policies and make sure to check that they are accepting the US refugee travel document. And of course, you'll have to fulfill the requirements of getting a visa and any other requirements that country may have. Very highly important reminder to keep in mind is that as an asylee, even though you get a refugee travel document, please do not return to your home country. The next thing to go through is if you change your address and you move, you must notify the USCIS within 10 days within exactly 10 days, because this is right now a legal requirement, and you cannot ignore it. You can update USCIS about your change of address by completing Form AR11 online. Also, go ahead and update the US Post Office within 30 days after your move. And if you are working with any legal providers, any social service agencies, or resettlement agencies, make sure to update them as well as soon as possible. Make sure to update your employer and also the Department of Motor Vehicles of any change of address as soon as you can. Now we are at the last part of the presentation. We completed and went over all the topics, and I hope that they are very helpful for you. This is our website. The Asylee Outreach Project has this website, which is asyleeoutreach.org. It has multiple pages and multiple tabs to it. It's a good place to find some resources, not only for asylees, but also for asylum seekers and for attorneys who are working with asylees. We keep updating this page and continue to make it available for you. It's also available in a few different languages. And you will also be able to see our contact information under Contact Us tab. Please feel free to use this resource and share it with any friends and families. Thank you very much again for your presence, for your attention, and we hope that this information is helpful for you, and we wish you all the very best with all the next steps you need to take in this journey. Thank you.